Bob Jumper.
Here.
Courtney Krakowski. Here. Katie Service. Here. And Patty Schopper.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just for your awareness, our meetings are being videotaped now. Our agenda changed, so this is the first go around, so bear with us and me mostly, I guess, because I'm running this. So next on the item is our district mission, and that's stated developing learners, empowering futures, and doing that together. And our district vision is to become a premier community, bridging learners with their passions and pathways. And our statement of core strategies is enhancing learning, and that is advanced services and operations, engaging community through partnerships, and cultivating professional growth and leadership. And our board protocol reminders, so if you just want to take a glance at those board members. And then I will ask for approval of the agenda and any changes that need to be made.
Do you have a motion first?
Yes, motion please.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Oh, second. Motion made and seconded to approve the agenda. One item we might want to add is 11 for an adjournment, so can you just item 11. And also in addition to the agenda, we'll be recognizing the First National Community Bank donation. That will come in general reports after D, so we'll label that E as an everything. Okay. Other discussion or changes to the agenda? All those in favor of the agenda, say aye. Aye. Opposed? General reports. Mark is unable to be here tonight on some personal business that he's on. So we will pass over Mark's and we'll put Shelley, our student council representative, on the spot. So we got the table.
All right, things are settling down at the high school. All our fall sports are coming to a close. The volleyball team advanced to the second round of playoffs before being defeated. The girls golf team advanced to the sectional meet. They had one freshman participate in that. Anya Swanson was the sectional champion last Friday, and she'll be advancing to the state meet on Saturday. So good luck to her. We just finished up with homecoming. We had a very successful homecoming. We actually had our first homecoming parade. I have some pictures that we can share with you. We had a district-wide parade that we had each class decorated a float, and the sports teams were able to walk in the parade. We started up by the meadows and came down past the elementary school and ended out in front of the high school. It was very fun. There was a very positive response from all the schools, and it's something we definitely want to continue. We also had our third annual tailgate party hosted by the student council, and each year it's becoming more and more successful. This year we raised over $400. We moved up into that side of the football fields, and we served chili, and we just keep finding that it's becoming more and more popular and successful. It was a great day for chili. It's very chilly outside. So. Also, this year at the high school, we've transitioned to video announcements instead of doing them traditionally over the intercom. And we found that we're having positive responses with that. Our student council is running that, and so each week we tape 2 announcements to be shown in every homeroom, and we put them onto the school webpage. We're just going to show a little clip of one
It is entirely student organized and taped.
And here, Thursday, Somerset High School
They
teacher
did some work on the ITV room and painted the ball into a green screen so that we can do this. We keep improving on it, and students have a lot of fun with this and being able to see the announcements in a different way. We also had the Somerset Honor Society induction last week. 26 seniors were inducted into the Honor Society, and we also hosted our academic excellence ceremony where we had some great attendance. We actually filled up the entire multi-purpose room, which was great to see because usually there's not a very strong turnout of this. So that was really exciting to see. And so we're looking forward to our winter activities getting started and your sports getting started. So, if anyone have any questions?
Thank you for bringing pictures and video.
You do that every week?
Oh, sure. Hi, yeah. Love to share.
You're gonna be a tough act to follow, I'll tell you. You're doing a great job. So, nice work. We'll move down to item D, and that's staff student community recognition. And tonight we have two. Safeway Bus Company is with us tonight, and we are celebrating, what is it, Safe Bus Week? Or
Bus driver
Bus
appreciation
Week. That's what it is. Thank you, Dewey. And I don't know if anyone was prepared. I think when Mark had something, unfortunately, he kind of got pulled away on an emergency tonight, so I'll just go and say how much I appreciate your guys' work, and it's one of the type of jobs that are taken for granted that, you just expect the school bus to get on school on time, to pick the child up on time, to get there safe, and you do carry around the most precious resources in Somerset, and you do a fantastic job. And it is ever so bothersome with the lack of attention people are driving around with today in their cars. They're doing everything but driving their cars, so it's becoming even more difficult. And I just really want to say thank you, and I'm so glad we started this partnership up with Safeway Bus Company because it's really been a fantastic relationship, and I'm very grateful. So thank you so much. And we do have some stuff for you. And does anybody else want to take a mention?
I think you said everything I would just say that my kids ride, and I'm so grateful that they get to school safe and get home safely, and love their bus driver.
And one of the other things I thought was really neat is it's the relationships that the school bus drivers have with the children that ride that bus. And I go to sporting events all the time, and I'll see bus drivers, and I say, what are you doing here? And they say, well, I had so-and-so on my bus route, and when she was little, so I'm watching her now. So I think that's really neat. People don't understand that type of relationship that happens on that bus. So I mean, it's just more than driving a bus around. So thank you. Now I'm going to pick on you and make you stand up.
Yes.
Tell us who you are. You can tell us something about yourself, how long you've been driving, or what you're doing there, if you're not a driver, if you're a mechanic or operations. And I don't care who wants to start.
Chucky.
I'll go ahead.
There's Vicki.
Vicki Java, I'm the general manager and controller for Safeway. I don't drive because I couldn't do it. These guys are awesome. We have a great group, and we talk about it all the time about how much we appreciate the relationship back and forth and the support that we get. So, thanks a lot.
I'm Dan Stubbs, I'm the owner, and I'm going to tell you people how much I enjoy working in this community. We transport for 5 or 6 other school districts, and this is by far my favorite one. I love the community, this single campus situation we have here, The staff is actually fun people to work with, and it's unusual. And on top of that, we have a new superintendent who rides a Harley, which is just nice. So, and I have a great staff. I really do. My drivers, my office, my mechanical staff, these people are wonderful. They make my life much better. I'm really happy to be here.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I'm Dewey, terminal manager. Again, appreciate you guys. Good relationship. I talk to the office, Rochelle, Michelle, on a daily basis. Quite a few teachers, quite a bit, and superintendents and whatnot, but thanks again. Make my job great. So, very easy.
I'll go. I'm Heather. I drive a little bus in the summer. I aid on the bus right now and then just south on the little bus.
I'm Steve. I drive bus 603, Route 3. Just glad to be part of this company.
Brandon Strumke, mechanic, been there for 2 years.
Dave Thompson, I drive bus 601 or Route 1, been there about 3 years now, and I'm so kids back. Most of the coworkers are great. All of them.
Carol Ottman, I'm 608, Route 2, and I'm going into my 9th year with Safeway, and I just love these guys. I'll tell you, it's just a great, great place to work for, so. And I love my kids.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm Chuck Ennis, drive 612, Route 12. I've got the best route because I've got the best kids. So that's all I have to say.
Mike, I drive SE1 and JK3. I've been with the company for 7 years.
I'm Greg Roy, I drive 605, been with the company 3 years.
I'm Chuck. Don Haynes, I drive 602, I got the worst bus.
Me. I'm Greg Nelson, I drive 314. Just do what Heather tells me to do and pick up kids and bring them to school. Most days.
All right. We have something for you. Shirts. Shirts for all you, and after we vote, you above the line. So there you go, just like the oil is supposed to be, right? All right, First National Community Bank.
Yeah. Well, thank you for letting us add this to the agenda. We had, well, I had a meeting end of last school year with some of the managers of First National Community Bank, and they started throwing out, how can we partner, how can we do some things to help out the school, be part of the community. And I threw out this wild idea of a class that we were going to start up, an entrepreneurship class, and said, the goal is to get a school store started. And they said, well, who do we need to talk to about this? And I got them in touch with Jen Sutton. And from there, I'm going to let Jen take over with her students and let them share with you what happened. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm here with children. My husband's working and my babysitter's in the class, so I'm here with my kids. So I have a few representatives from our entrepreneurship class, and they've done just a great job of putting together a business plan that they presented to some loan officers from First National Community Bank 2 weeks ago now, and they loved what they saw. And they did a financial proposal for over $10,000. And they are here tonight with a giant check, if you want to grab it.
Yeah, come on around.
Come on out.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You guys have your speeches on prepared?
No. It speaks for itself.
And that is what First National Bank came to us with last week, and we were all pretty excited about that. So we are feeling very thankful. So if you guys want to just give a little bit about kind of what you did and just a quick process, the quick version.
Yeah, so we started off by just, figuring out what we were going to do with the class, and then we went and toured 4 school stores around the area, and we learned from them, figured out what was working for them, what wasn't. We put together a business plan, got in communication with First National. We ended up pitching our business plan to them a couple Thursdays ago. We met with them, they gave us some advice, asked us some questions, things that we needed to work on, and then we met with them again last week, and they came in with that check, and it was a good day.
It was fun to watch them do this. First National didn't make it easy on them. Really asked some good questions, some tough questions, followed up just before they presented the money to them with some other questions, and then had them second guessing on how much are we actually going to get. And they brought in a nice box of coffee cups, styrofoam cups with the First National Community Bank on it, and said, here's your donation, and got some earbuds for you. Here's your donation.
And kept us thinking for sure. So our goal is by January to have a store up and running. We'll be open before school for coffee and cappuccino, after school, some homerooms, and then of course for community events, sporting events, things like that. So lots of info to come, lots of work to do now that we have some money to work with, but feeling very thankful that we have something to start with. So be a fun few months, busy few months. So.
Anyone else want to comment on anything? You came all the way here, so you want to say something, Allie?
Oh,
Chance
okay.
back?
I don't know, I just think it was a huge learning experience for us because we came into the class not really knowing anything that we were going to be doing. And now we have all this money to redo the copy room and get all the product and get it started. And then eventually we want to give out scholarships to the students that work in the store.
Good point. Set up as a nonprofit with any profits going to scholarships. So good incentive for the seniors.
So is this a complete donation?
Well,
Yeah,
Kind of.
but
2,500 has to be for scholarships in the year, right? Yeah.
mhm.
So 8,000 is straight for us. And
All right, Caitlin, you're the only one. Can't leave you out. What do you got?
It's been fun.
All right. If you guys want to introduce yourself to the audience, that'd be wonderful. Left to right works. Right to left. I don't care which way you want to do.
I'm Brittany Kearns. I'm a senior at Somerset.
I'm Caitlin Ty, also a senior at Somerset.
I'm Allie Troutlow.
I'm Sam Linden, and I am also a senior.
Good
Do it too. $10,000.
We will take a 10-minute recess for some refreshments and cake, and we will reconvene at 7:30. All right?
One test. So we're seeing our 11th graders. We don't have comparative data for this particular crew because they're different testing. However, there is some alignment. High school is working very hard to pull apart the data and make some good plans for both the juniors taking it this year as well as the seniors that this data was generated from. Aspire, which is the test that leads up to the ACT, where we engage our students and we help make some decisions for them as they plan their subject, as they plan their course off, look at courses and schedules and so on. This is how they came out. This is very promising. As you can see, English, science, reading, writing, and math all exceeded the national norms. We don't have state norms for this yet because we are compared with this test against the nation. What this test does do, though, is gives us a predictive score. And the predictive score is what the sophomores from last year, now juniors, when they take the ACT, as an entire grade level. Remember, it's an average of all of the students. 100% of our juniors take this assessment. Should come out with a 22.1 if they stay on course, engaged, and we keep our rigorous curriculum going. Our ninth graders even came in a little bit better, so kudos. So the grade levels prior in ninth grade, they came out really exceeding the national averages, and their predictive score is 22.3 right now. We'll be able to follow that up this year with their Aspire and hopefully see really great results when they hit that junior year and their junior test. So some things to celebrate. We saw great gains in our math achievement scores at the elementary. Grades 3 and 4 really, if you look at their scores and look at where those kiddos are landing, we are very excited about the momentum that is building starting in the younger grades. Another really exciting thing, our students with disabilities at the elementary scored proficient or better far beyond the state average, which is really exciting. We saw over the state average by over 11%. And that's really something to celebrate for those kiddos and for our elementary special ed crew and teachers who work so hard every day with them. Our middle school, grades 6 and 7, rebounding off of some scores from last year, absolutely tested above state average in every single tested topic area. So you break down the ELA, you break down the math, look at their topics that are within each one of those things, and they killed it across the board. Our class of 2016, those will be our graduates who will take the ACT again. Many of them take it again. Remember, we test all juniors. Many of those take that test again, and then we get another score that comes out from that. Our class of 2016 exceeded the state average in the ACT in English, reading, and science. And then our current work and achievement of our 9th and 10th grade students. I have a 10th grader myself, and talk. The opportunities that have opened up to those kiddos, including AP Bio now being offered at the sophomore level, and other great opportunities. So we're excited about where this is going and making big plans. But we have work to do. So our big work for this year, and you'll be hearing lots about this, and you'll be hearing about area as well, is really every single PLC is going back to their course and determining what is essential. What do we guarantee for every one of our students before they walk out of this course to go to the next course, or out of this grade level to go to the next grade level? So each PLC is working very hard right now to go through all the standards and really determine what is essential, and therefore what is essential learning for all students, not some students. Work has started on that. After determining that, they'll be aligning high quality assessments to those essential standards. How will we know if we've guaranteed it? And if they don't know it, what are we going to do next? So analyzing that assessment data to provide intervention and enrichment, as well as look at instructional practices that work. What's working, what's successful, from teacher to teacher, from course to course, and working together to do great things. So this work has already started. It started in August. It's being reinforced by many of the speakers that are coming to the area, that the work we're doing internally with our PLCs, the work that our building principals and directors are leading. You'll be hearing lots about this good stuff coming up. And that is it. First glance at the assessment data. Remember, more to come, soon, fast, furious, and so on.
Trish, how does the state of Wisconsin compare to the state? Are we in the middle somewhere?
It depends what assessment you're looking at. It depends what part.
ACT.
I think we came in, you have to look at all the states that test all of their students. So there are several states. I believe there's 18 states that test all of their students right now.
Yeah.
And I can't quite remember. The number 4 is coming to me right now. But I know that Peggy Rausch came through and really professed that you will see a natural dip culturally, and then from those 18 schools, they saw the natural bounce back. I will check on that, Brian, for you though. Okay. Any questions for any one of us on what you said?
It's good stuff. It's good to see the comparison.
We'll be showing you more very shortly as we bring more data to the table.
How do you feel, Trish, about the results? Just your opinion. I know we've been working hard, and I don't know where you're at with. Are you okay with it? Are you disappointed? Are you happy?
Oh, I think it's time to set some goals,
Yeah.
some bigger goals, and I'm excited that we're going to have 2 years of data from the same assessment, because we did see some very big discrepancies. In fact, our teachers who administered it were calling afterwards like, "Where's the writing?"
Sure.
I mean, it looked very different than the assessment that we we thought was, very well aligned to the Common Core. So we are still asking lots of questions and setting lots of goals. There's room for improvement. Lots of really exciting little parts, but we want to see some really big parts, and hopefully that's right around the corner.
Do we know kind of the results from other middle board of conference schools and how we're doing?
They're starting to come out. They're starting to be published publicly on WiseDash. We can start looking at some comparisons. We haven't done a thorough investigation of that yet because they just reviewed the release now. Same thing with the report card. We hear all this kind of ear to the wall stuff, but we haven't. Obviously, that is still embargoed, and they're all very much kind of.
This data is not embargoed anymore?
It was just released last Tuesday. Like, boom. Okay.
As part of the problem solving, are we exploring potential social issues and their impacts?
We actually brought up much of what Patty's been bringing to the table as well. The middle school.
When I look at my own building, one of the things that we noticed at the end of last year was that just looking at the kinds of behaviors that we saw, so we have a very large focus this year on working to build relationships with kids. So we have 15 minutes once a week where we're talking about top 20 and working, and the kids love it, and the teachers love it. It's the one class they're not tardy for. Not that we have a huge tardy problem, but like they're all there and where they're supposed to be. And so that's going to be part of our building goal this year, because that we know the importance that relationships play with kids and their engagement and wanting to learn. And so we've set a focus on that. We're not going to leave any of the other academic pieces behind. However, as an entire building, that's something we can all focus on. For that at least 15 minutes once a week, all kids are with an adult, and it doesn't matter if you're a special education teacher or a specialist teacher or a school counselor. I only wish my schedule allowed me to have a group, so I'm going to hopefully pop in with groups as the year goes on as well to be able to have that connection with the adults. And it has been very, very positively received by the kids and teachers alike. So.
The high school PLC leaders read the book Whistling Vivaldi, and so we're starting to identify some stereotype threats that may be in existence that are preventing kids from performing their best. So we've got a survey that we're putting together to try to identify some of those areas that may be there and look at how we can reduce that threat for them so that they can come in and do the best they can.
We also, in examining some of our report card data, which I'm not permitted to share with you yet, we were at the middle school going through the data and seeing how these scores played in to the final kind of formula. And much of what Patty was bringing to the table about food security and our kids and the kids in this area and what we know the data is saying about our families came into the conversation. So really positive that we're all kind of all hands on deck right now.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm just going to stay right
Don't
here.
go too
Yeah.
far, yeah.
She's not going too far.
Yeah, item 5 is cultivating professional growth and learning, and why Tricia's moving is because she's going to talk about Ed Camp.
Yeah, now. This will bring some energy to the room. Super fun, enriching, collaborative, wonderful day. I was a little nervous going into it. Many of us have been working. What?
Really?
Really nervous going into it. It had to go off well. We had a lot of people coming to Somerset, over 750 teachers. It had to go well. And so we took a step back and it's like, wow, we just pulled off 3 weddings, basically. 3 different venues, technology in every building, not a glitch at all. Lots of people highly engaged, lots of great energy, and a lot of great new connections. So just real quick, here are the details. October 14th, we had 6 districts, 750 educators, 3 staff-driven sessions that teachers could choose, and principals and everyone who was here. In fact, there were people here who weren't invited here. Somehow they got the word and they were here too. We had an affinity group working lunch, so we put groups together with like people, so all grade 1 or all counselors, got to sit together at lunch and then enjoy some time there, eating a wonderful lunch, great food. We had door prizes. The communities from around here really supported our teachers and our everyone who was involved with some wonderful door prizes that we were able to give out. We had a smackdown at the end of the day, which was a time for people to share one last great thing before they left campus. And we had a hashtag, and the hashtag was going crazy. So if you're a Twitter user, if you go in there and search hashtag MBCPLC, you'll see some wonderful testimonials and beautiful pictures that people were throwing out there. I wanted to share with you a few of the details. So this was a document that was shared with all staff members who came from all of the 6 surrounding districts. from the elementary school, middle school, and high school, and how we paired them up to make sure we had kind of people dispersed. Rolling down the day, we assigned superintendents to kick off that day, and they channeled their best inner cheerleader. You'd be very proud of Mark. He pulled out, okay, I'll just tell a quick story. He told everyone to stand up because they're going to do a mindfulness activity. Have you ever done mindfulness? And it's like, yes. Okay, we're just going to get this day off started right with good energy, so stand up. He told them, like, make room, so you have room to breathe. And then, boom, up came YMCA. And he's up there like, no, no. It was really fun. It was really fun. Jim from Amory also did a wonderful job. I was stationed at the high school. I heard the other superintendents did a fabulous job as well. All staff members had filled out a survey ahead of time, if you want to click into the one that we were talking about earlier, Sarah. And we put together all of the curriculum people, put together a session board based off of the survey results of what people said they either wanted to talk about or could lead. So here were some of the sessions that people had a chance to go to, and if they didn't like where they were, they could get up and they could walk out. And we made that very, very clear. Every one of the sessions had a note document where when people came in, they all clicked into it, they put in their contact information so that people had now a new network of people they could go to, talk with, learn from. I heard one teacher who then copied this document and then used it to highlight what people were saying, so they had their own record of who they really wanted to keep in touch with, who they wanted to touch base with. Notes then were taken from every single session with the main conversation and where it went, so everyone has access to all parts and can go back and review. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the...
I got you, don't worry.
Perfect. Okay, so I just put some pictures in here so you can see kind of what kind of fun we had going on. I pulled most of these from Twitter, so there's lots out there. I didn't do a whole album, but you know, I'm a scrappy girl, so watch out next time. This was just from the middle school. We had a piece from the elementary school, lots and lots of people everywhere wearing lots and lots of school colors. Elementary crew have a little bit of fun. Here's a picture of one of the sessions. More sessions, middle school and high school. The affinity groups, we had it pretty well calculated how many people were going to be in each group from all the surrounding districts. Had tables set up so they had their own place and space. Village Pizzeria came in, did a beautiful lunch for all of us. Everybody had at least 30 minutes or more to sit down and talk with people who they share like jobs. Another session happened after lunch. And then the SmackDown came, and the SmackDown truly was about getting people back up and out just for one more thing, one more app, one more book, one more author, one more blog, one more tip, one more technique. What you're seeing here is Aaron Kramer, originally Formella, and Kristen Cisco doing some Google
Cardboard.
It's called Google Cardboard?
Yes, yes.
Okay, looking for a different word. Got an audience. A volunteer from the audience came down and the sharks were going all over him. It was great. Kind of talking about some apps they could use in the 3D world there for kind of psychology and brain function, which was a lot of fun. This is a really fun picture. You can't see it really well here, but what you're seeing up here is a giant, what is it called, a circle sock?
Circle sock.
And it's 3 yards of fabric sewn in a circle, like t-shirt fabric. Behind there's a picture of 4 little kiddos sitting in it and reading books together, kind of a small guided reading or lit circle. So these are 4 adults who all stood up in the circle sock, and then they sit down, and it kind of holds everyone together, gives you a little compression, keeps you all together, and it's fabulous. They also make them so whole classrooms can sit within them. A lot of fun. I have to say kudos to Jason, who I stationed one IT person at every building. Jason sat at that computer, and as people came up to do their share, he pulled something up on the computer to support what was being talked about. So a picture, a website, something. He was fabulous. And then, of course, the middle school crew. I just took a quick snapshot of just what fit on my screen from Twitter with that hashtag NBCPLC. Lots of people saying lots of really great things about having such a wonderful day. If you have time to go look, it's really fun and it's very affirming. Finally, we all exited after the SmackDown to the football field, where we had a drone flying above us and taking some wonderful pictures of everybody in the stands, where we gave out some grand prizes from our wonderful community members who supported this event. So big shout out, truly, this took a village. I'm not joking. There were so many moving parts. So a huge shout out to my building principals and to Shannon for really making sure that at the building level, things were set up, ready to go and rocking. Also to their, to Susan and to Lisa and to John Walsh, who also helped with all of those pieces. Our IT crew, who was amazing, and our building crew, Bill and Brad and George, who made sure everything was really clicking. Everything from opening up our network a little bit so everybody could get on with any problems, to making sure all doors were open so people could get in, to making sure we had parking. There was just a whole lot of details, but it turned out to be a great day. And if Mark were here, he would share that the superintendents then got together. We did an exit survey to see how everybody felt about it. And if we could take out the problem, which was the brownies didn't show up for lunch.
Big problem.
I am not joking. That was a huge problem. Yes, chocolate is good at lunchtime, so they did not show up. We thought they were coming. They didn't come, but the food was delicious. Fettuccine was really good.
No worries, they came today.
Oh, right, yeah. If we could remove that, and if we could remove that I had on that detail agenda that we were going to have coffee and muffins, and I ended up with coffee and granola bars, most of the comments were absolutely through the roof exciting. They were excited, they were here, they want to do it again. They want to do it more than one time a year. Some of the people, lots of different suggestions and lots of great feedback. The soups read through all of the sorted data by building and by level and have decided that we will be doing this again next year. And New Richmond and Prescott are now coming on board. So it's truly the entire Middle Border Conference will be participating. Not certain that we can house it here, given our current facilities. We may have to head over to New Richmond, so good luck, New Richmond. But it was a great day. And thank you for making that possible, and thanks to the soups, and thanks for Randy, actually Rosberg, who brought the idea to the table to have that one day when we can all come together and network. Really important for our singletons. We just talked to our instructor who's teaching AP stats this year for the first time. Made a lot of great connections there and really going back and forth, trying to figure it all out together. We're powerful together. So thank you very much. Any questions?
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Hang on, I know that you won't do this, so I'm just gonna say it to make sure everybody understands that she is shouting out to everybody else, but this event absolutely would not have taken place had it not been for her. This had taken months and months, literally months of planning, and her attention to detail, her organization, we just kind of sat back and took orders, which is okay. But yeah, you were in the mode, right? We got it. But her vision for how she wanted this to go really was kind of the deciding factor in terms of if this was going to be successful or not. So I know on behalf of all of us, thank you for all the work that you did, because it was a massive undertaking, and I don't believe the day would have went as well as it did if it hadn't been for you.
Thank you.
And the other DACs would say the same. The other DACs would say the exact same thing. The other Trishas. Thank you. You did a great job.
And then Chris, right below you. Sarah, Chris, whoever.
No brownies in there?
No
No brownies.
So everybody left that day with a parting gift. I survived Middle Border Conference Ed Camp, so there you go.
It's not a poison apple, it's a burning apple, because you're learning a lot. Come on.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Tricia.
Trish, how many schools were there?
6 districts. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks for sharing that with us. I kind of suspect that everybody else did too. That just be a little modest. Thank you.
It took all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on.
Can I share one event?
You can share two. Good.
Well, I just want to remind everyone that the Friends of Education, the St. Croix Valley Friends of Education, there's a gentleman who came, I think in May, and shared that they were starting up that group. They're hosting the Tony Evers, the state superintendent, at the Osceola School District this Thursday, I believe. where this is. Yep, this Thursday, from 5:30 to 7, and he'll be speaking about current trends and challenges in education in the city of Wisconsin. So it's a great opportunity to connect with that resource and learn some more.
It was this one, huh?
Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah, it was just one.
Moving down to item 6, engage the community through partnerships. Any community engagement?
We had a concert that maybe, I don't know if any of you were at, the community concert here at the high school, put on to benefit the food show by the Woodbury Orchestra. Absolutely fantastic. I hope that more are able to participate in it and come to it. It's a great way for our school to get some exposure, being a part of something that benefits our community. Fantastic. And they were great. They were absolutely great. They didn't take any money for it. They donated it all to the food show. So it was wonderful. And tonight's concert was great.
Sure it was.
I attended the Alice informational meeting that Shannon had, and she did a wonderful job. It was kind of, I think we talked after, it was kind of disappointing the amount of people that showed up. I was thinking it was gonna be a kind of a home run on the topic, but you did a great job. It was awesome, and I think that it's a great thing for the community to know, and I wish that we could get it out there somehow. But maybe once it starts rolling out, there'll be more interest in it, and maybe at that time, it'll be another time, maybe we can do it again or something, but it was great.
One question I do have, the mentorship for, for high school, how's that going?
I just started.
Are you still looking for people?
We'll still take people, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, we had our first training session, but we didn't get anyone caught up, and I wanna say we had 18 or 19 community members come for the first training, and right now we're recruiting juniors.
All right.
To work with, so.
Okay. Good. I was wondering how that was going, if there was a good response, because, it's a little bit of commitment for the individual having to.
It is, arriving in school about 7:30 and then staying until about 8:15, and then going to work from
Do
there.
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm just curious on that.
Yeah.
So you need enough for the junior class, is that what you said?
Anyone who's interested, so we're gonna try to partner 2 to 3 students per mentor, hopefully, and allow them to start going through and learning what careers are like, how to build a resume, what to do for interviews, writing letters of recommendation for people, just a wide variety of things that will happen through that, and helping them learn career skills and just life skills.
All the stuff you can't learn off a standardized test.
Right. Yeah, I haven't seen that on the ACT yet, but.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other part of it.
Right.
I do have a second on
I knew it.
So my husband and I attended a parenting class about self-regulation, and what was most interesting was the research that they shared about how self-regulation skills are a higher indicator of student achievement than their entering math or reading scores are. And so both my husband and I thought that was interesting, that we potentially should be also focusing on the mental, emotional, and social thinking skills of our students.
Yeah. Cool. Where was that?
It was in Minneapolis that they did a treatment.
Nice. A little vacation?
Yeah, it was my birthday. It was
Oh,
great.
perfect.
Sarah, there was something that was at the middle school that I attended, and I'm drawing a blank on it. It was,
So it was, that's what I thought you were gonna talk about when you said
That's
parenting class,
what I
but it
mean.
was working with your adolescents. So this is the second time we have brought Brian, can't remember his last name, to the middle school, and he does a 3-hour session with parents of middle school age children on how to communicate effectively and work with this child where your emotive brain is like on hyperdrive and your rational side is basically non-existent from the ages of 10 till Like 27 for boys, 21 for girls, literally, but yeah. And so it's the second time. They are planning to bring him, through our mini grant that we got from DPI, we were able to bring him in at no cost to the group of parents that signed up. And even though it was a long weekend, because the kids didn't have school on Friday, we still had, I think there were 20 signed up, not that many showed up, but it was, you know, Courtney, you could speak that it was.
Yeah, it was great.
Mhm.
I walked over there and it kind of made a little more sense when I talked to my 11-year-old. But it was great, and I mean, these are the awesome things that are going on. Again, I wish there was more people attending, and, you know, I felt like that, all of them, the LS2 was really thrown out to the community, so.
Yeah, and we'll bring him back again in the spring. I think we're gonna try to do it a couple of times a year so that we can get more parents involved. That way, because he puts a cap on it at, you can't have more than 30 in the audience at that time, so.
That was great.
You guys are doing great work. Everybody's doing great work. So, that's not even the newspaper. Let's see how Lauren's doing back there. Oh, I know, I maybe fell asleep.
Oh, no.
All right, moving down to item 7. This is their formerly called action portion of the meeting, which is now the advanced service and operations. And item 8, can I get a motion to adopt the 2016-2017 Fund 10 budget, please? Thank you. And that amount is $16,975,154.42.
And I'll second that.
Any discussion on that?
I would just like to explore how we could have more detailed information when we do this. I'm comfortable approving this amount of a budget on a 2-page handout. And we're in transition of leadership, so I think it's a perfect time to explore.
Okay. Maybe our next work session, we can talk about what information we would like placed on that, so. Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay. Motion made and was seconded to adopt the 2016-2017 Fund 10 budget in the amount of $16,975,154.42. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item B.
Much of, I'm sorry, to go back on that one, much of that information we did get in the packets prior to. So this is fine detailed for, but not, I shouldn't say fine details. This is more closely getting the figures based on factors that come into play in the month of September. So it's a progressive thing, so that's not, I'm sorry, I just don't see it as us just doing it on two sheets of data. I think it's been a year-long process that we have been getting information. It's just not more than those summary 2 sheets in this packet. So I don't want that to be misunderstood. We do have some pretty thorough data provided for us, but in the summary, is that what you're referencing, Nancy? You'd like more in this packet that backs that up rather than the summary that he provides? You'd like to see the details all here again?
Yes, that I think would be a great addition, and to my understanding, the summaries are reporting out on how we spent the proposed budget, whereas this is a proposed budget for a new year.
Right. So you want the summaries that are more than what he goes through in the annual meeting on September 8th? Because that summary's there, plus on the website, there's some really good thorough data on that. You want that included in this? I'm not clear on what you
Potentially.
want, more than having it on the website.
I just would like the board to look at other options and have a discussion.
Okay.
Because there's lots of other municipalities and governmental organizations and schools that present their annual budget in different ways.
Well, we're a bit out of order, so we're gonna drop down to item B. And can I get a motion to certify Fund 10 tax levy in the amount of $5,018,697.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Discussion on this.
So if you do have questions on the budget, I would direct and encourage people to look on the website, because Dave has done a great job of filling in and putting in a lot more information on the website. Yeah, more so than what I've seen in many municipalities, but you probably are referring to some different ones than what I've seen. So I think more information is always helpful, but I do want to encourage people to check out what is on the website, because it's a lot more information than what we might think is there. And it's readily available, easily accessed.
I think it's a good starting point, just to give people in a comfort area. And I think it's a perfect opportunity for the next work session to sit down and talk about what the details are that some would like to see, and then comfort level that they have, so. All right. Anything else? Motion was made and seconded to certify the Fund 10 tax levy in the amount of $5,018,697. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item C. Get a motion to approve the resolution authorizing temporary borrowing in the amount not to exceed $1,700,000.
I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Brian.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Brian. Discussion.
We're fortunate that in this year we are able to borrow at a lesser amount, and we're getting a very favorable rate, even though we only have 2 rather than the 3. The 2 is still quite good for people that bid on that ride, so thank you, Dick, for your work on that. Wish we didn't need to do it at all, but it's necessary to meet our bills.
And do you have any information on that you want to share? Anything that you want to?
Additional?
Anything additional? Right. Any other comments, questions? Discussion. All right, motion made and seconded to approve resolution authorizing temporary borrowing in the amount not to exceed $1,700,000 pursuant to section 67.12 sub A sub A1 Wisconsin statutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Down to 8. And that is our consent agenda of the board. Item A is our minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes, please? September 19, 2016.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thanks, Courtney. Any discussion on the minutes of the regular session of September 19th? Seeing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yep. And can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the special session of October 3rd?
I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Nancy.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Brian. Any discussion on the October 3rd? I suppose I am doing this backwards. This is the part where I was a little bit confused. I'm gonna keep going with it, it's short.
It's all right, there's no delay.
So.
Okay, that's good. You started one way,
Saves a little bit. You're a little late in the correcting me. So we can do it this way. So I got a motion. We got a second on this?
Yep.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Board bills, item B. A motion to approve the September, October board bills, please.
So moved.
Thanks.
I'll second it.
Courtney, any discussion? All those in favor of the September, October board bills, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item C is our coaching and advisor positions. Motion to approve the coaching and advisor positions, please.
I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Brian.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Nancy. Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks. That was a long way to do a consent agenda.
It looks different.
I was testing all of you, and you failed miserably. We had this discussion. What's wrong with you?
Nobody wanted to read it.
Item 9 is general information. Upcoming dates of importance. Anybody got anything that's upcoming for dates of importance other than Thanksgiving or Halloween or things that we already know about? That's really, really quiet.
Just Tony Evers in the Osceola School District
Okay.
this Thursday.
Second and last night at conferences, Maronite Elementary.
Tomorrow, I think there's FAFSA
Yeah.
information going on that I have to go to. Should be fun. Anything else? Okay. So, item 10 is going to be the adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Thanks, Katie.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Marie. Any discussion? All those in favor of adjourning? Aye. Opposed? Adjourned at 8:18. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, it's really beautiful. It has a red dress on it.
Exactly.